Man City. Then on Sunday we have 4 matches. Early kickoff. No, on Sunday we don't have early kickoff. But 17:00 hours, Fulham will be at home playing against Arsenal. Arsenal, there's nothing like the game will depend on whether Man City will draw or win. The game is just a game. And in the Europa League on Thursday, they played against Sporting CP, of which they were away at Portugal. They're back to London.
How did that game fare?
2-2. Actually, Arsenal came from behind. So now that they will be visitors at Fulham, I have a feeling that this one might be the real draw. Fulham will try as much as they can because they're at home, the pressure of the home fans. And furthermore, they will be looking at Willian, who will be the centre man, the man who will want to make a difference. So I'm going with Willian scoring. This game will end at least 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw, yeah. In the first leg, Arsenal versus Fulham ended 2-1. Arsenal won by 2-1. Fulham, currently this season in the league, they're doing immensely well. They have been consistent, apart from losing last weekend in a London derby against Brentford. But even though they lost, they gave in a spirited fight, of course, as usual. So I feel like this is not going to be an easy game, especially after Arsenal surviving a scare from Bournemouth. I feel like if Arteta is to learn from that whatever happened, he needs to change his approach, and his defense needs to be very alert, because alertness is what almost costed him last weekend. The first goal was scored very early because his defenders were caught off guard, and it was just a tap in which was scored. So this time round, if he can correct those mistakes, then he's good to go. But failure to do so, he's going to find a team which has Andreas, a team that is super excited to actually score goals. Fulham doesn't have issues with scoring goals, they score goals. So Arsenal, be wary of it. So of course I see the likes of Martinelli and Saka, who started in the Europa League, so they're good players, so they will still continue. Trossard, of course, and Tierney, I feel they have slight injuries, but maybe Trossard will be fit to play over the weekend. Overall, I feel like Arsenal have everything because they rested their keeper yesterday. So, of course, Ramsdale will be back at the post over the weekend. So this is a match whereby, regardless of it being difficult, for some reasons, Arsenal has been finding ways of finishing or winning games regardless. So give it to Arsenal to win by 3-1.
Although at the end of the game of the Europa League they played, I saw Bukayo Saka limping, but I guess maybe it's fatigue, I don't know. He's not injured, but he was limping. But anyway, Manchester United at the same time will be meeting Southampton. Now, after a big humiliation, they played in the Europa League. Actually, they wanted to regain back their confidence, and actually they won that game by 4-1. They will be at home against Southampton, another good team, of course. But just trusting me, according to the home form of Manchester United, I have a feeling that they're going to win this game by at least 3-0.
3-0, yeah? The last 3 games which Manchester United has faced Southampton, 2 of them has ended in a draw. Then the latest one, which being the first leg of this season, ended in 1. Manchester won 1-0. So that goes a long way to tell you that this is usually a game which is never automatic, because a lot of stakes are usually involved, and a lot always transpires in this. Southampton have not been performing well this season. I don't know whether they have left the bottom of the table. Are they still the last ninjas at the bottom of the table? I guess Pogba can confirm it to us. But Manchester United were bruised over the weekend after losing 7-0 to Liverpool. So I feel like they will be bringing that energy back. We saw what they did in the Europa League, of course, on Thursday football. They actually, how did the result go, Pogba?
4-1.
4-1, yeah? So they were attempting to recover the 7 goals, but they could only get 4 goals. So as they move into to Premier League, I feel like Southampton needs to be very afraid, and they need to be careful, because they're facing an injured team, a team which has a point to prove. But Southampton having a good history against Manchester United in terms of holding them, I feel like Manchester, you should be careful, because you saw what Southampton did to Chelsea. It was a wait-and-see game. They got a free kick, and of course the main man did that thing. So crazy. So this is a game whereby I'm hoping Manchester should be able to win to regain their glory in terms of winning streak, but they should not be comfortable. So I'll give it 2-1 in favor of Manchester United, but as I always say, anything is possible.
Actually, according to the home form, like I said, right now Southampton are at position 19 in the Premier League, and that they're in a battle to escape the relegation zone. So with this one, of course, it won't be an easy game, but playing against players who have been laid, conditions have been laid for players. Trust you me, they'll give their 100%. And since Ten Hag is that man, Manchester will win comfortably. That I promise you. You can take that to the bank. So 3-0 in favor of Manchester United. West Ham against Aston Villa. These matches will be played at the same time. West Ham being at home, playing against Aston Villa, who are not that much impressing. I don't know why. So straight away, I'm giving West Ham to win this game 4-1.
Talking of 4, West Ham were humiliated last weekend they were playing against Brighton. They lost to those 4 goals to nil. So they're facing Aston Villa, a team which won against Crystal Palace over the weekend by a solitary goal. The last time they met in the first leg, West Ham won 1-0. It was a 1-0 win for West Ham. So it's going to be a crazy game as they meet, because Aston Villa seems to be trying to do everything right under their new coach, and West Ham on the other side, they want to rejuvenate themselves. So that having happened, I feel like Aston Villa will give them a good fight, and West Ham needs to find a way of recovering. So this is a game whereby, because Aston Villa will be at home, Pogba, I feel like Aston Villa are going for it. So I'm giving it Aston Villa to win.
They will be away.
Aston Villa will be away. It doesn't matter. Danny Ings is back. So 2-1 in favor of Aston Villa.
Newcastle against Wolves. Another draw. That's for me, another draw. This one, I see a 1-1 draw. I tell you, Newcastle, they started very well, but the ending, I don't know. 1-1 draw.
Wolves won last weekend. They're playing against who again? Newcastle have been wavering since they lost the cup, or they're not doing well. But above everything, this is a game whereby I feel like Newcastle will be bouncing back with a win. So I want Newcastle to win 2-1.
Actually, guys, this one is a double game week. We still have other matches on Wednesday, but of course, we are here as the gatekeepers. You just relax, subscribe. Our work is to bring you the latest, the fixtures and everything. So stay tuned. We will be back because it's a double game week for Aston, for Brentford, for Brighton, for Crystal Palace. So we are here because of it.
Congratulations to Player of the Month, Mr. Rashford, for winning that. It is what it is. So otherwise, until next time, guys, we are out.